Welcome to another Market Watch. Today we're going to go over some of the best-selling cards on TCG. We're going to look at the second page on TCG's best-selling list today. First card on the list is Yamato. This card is dropping in price, and I currently think it's a good pickup. I got my card when it was about $30 in Romance Dawn, but it is one of two of the secret rares in the set, so I think it's a good time to pick it up sooner rather than later. These cards will only be harder to get as time goes on. Secondly, we have Kuzan's alternate art, currently sitting at $63. I think this is a good pickup. Just a month ago or so, he was around $100. I wouldn't pick him up just to have him as a investment, but I would pick him up if I was trying to bling out my deck. I think this is a great price, so if you've kind of been waiting and wanting him, I would go in soon. Just my opinions. Next is Brook, a $10 card. It depends on the build you're playing. I know in Whitebeard decks, Brook is used in the Straw Hat build. I use them in mine. $10 is not a good price to pay for this card, but if you need them, you need them. I know the structure decks are really hard to get. The same goes for the following card we're going to look up. That's Queen. These purple structure decks are just so hard to get. You run Queen as a 4 of in all of your purple decks, so if you're trying to play purple, you just have to bite that bullet at $17. I think you're getting ripped off. Hopefully these cards get reprinted in the future. But as far as those past two, both Brook and Queen, aren't the best pickups financially, but if you need to do it for your decks, I completely understand. The fifth card on the list today is Ace. I don't think this is the best card to pay $47 for. If you want Ace, you're really only two choices as far as like collector value as the Treasure Cup Ace and this Ace from Paramount War. But $47 is just a bit steep. If you're trying to play it in your deck for the Whitebeard decks, I would probably just pick up the lower rarity SR. I wouldn't pick up the AA version. But if you're a fan of Ace and this is just something you really want right now, I don't think it's a bad idea. My only concern is that they're going to come out with some sort of Ace leader in the future, which is going to drive this value down just as far as collector purposes. Next up, we have Borsalino's alternate art card. Similar to Kuzan, I don't think it's the best pickup right now. All these Paramount War cards are just declining in value. Maybe in a couple of weeks, once it's hit its rock bottom, if it's not already there, I would go in and pick this card up. What's good about it is that you do need it in some of your black builds. It is a good card, and it holds some collector value considering that Paramount War was the first set to actually print all of these black cards. If you're running Sakazuki in your black decks, I think it's a great time to get him. He's just $3.50. He doesn't see as much play as Borsalino, but considering what his low price tag is, go ahead and get it if you're looking to play him. The next card is the Don Shanks card, currently sitting at $3.95. I think that's a steal. Shanks is a great character. It's very collectible. 10 of these cost you just under $40. And I think in the future, they're just going to go up in value. I don't see them getting much lower. The most important tip I'm going to share today, I believe, is this next one. So we're looking at Kinemon's alternate art at $100. This looks really cheap for an alternate art, and I think it is. If you really like this character, then go ahead and get him. I do think that's a pretty shallow price tag considering how hard alternate arts are to pull. And he's really good in the OPO2 format. However, if you look into OPO3, I'm going to show you here in this next tab, and you go at all the top decks, you can see that Trafalgar Law seems to start taking the place on some of the green builds that are doing the best. Following Trafalgar Law, you can see Eustace Captain Kidd, and we'll just look at a few more just for the sake of it. You have another Eustace Captain Kidd deck. What I'm getting at is I think Kinemon starts to fall out of favor, so I wouldn't start putting all my money into him just yet. You can see down here we got our first Kinemon deck followed by another Trafalgar Law deck. Last two cards we're going to look at today is the Zoro alternate art card and then the Kazuki Oden super rare, the non-alternate art. So first off, we have Zoro at $227. This card's from Romance Dawn. It has my heart. I'm going to pick it up. I don't care if it's $200 or $220. I'm eventually going to buy this card. Romance Dawn is so hard to get. We're going to be lucky if it gets reprinted. I haven't heard anything that suggests that it will. With that being said, I really want Zoro. I like him as a character. I don't care about his play in the future. But if you rewind the video, you'll see that a lot of the top decks were still Zoro decks in OPO3. Both with his collectability and his meta play in the future, I think this card is a great pickup. Go ahead and get it if you like it as much as I do. Notice that I want to pick up Zoro for my love of the card. It's not to make tons and tons of money on it. However, if I'm looking at Zoro from a market watch perspective, I do think its price has room to grow as the years go on. I'm not going to say it can't flop, but some of these base set cards, as we've seen in other games in the past, have this great opportunity to go up. And considering he's a main character, would I think that he could go up some more in the future? Yes, but I'm picking him up purely out of my love for the card and for Zoro. Hopefully you guys like him too. Last card we're going to look at today is the Kazuki Odin Super Rare. It's not the alternate art version, so it's only $3.64. If you're playing this One Piece game, I think you have to pick him up. He's just a generic 8-drop that's just insane. With Whitebeard running around, you need something to beat over Whitebeard that's already a 6K leader. Plus, he holds these huge hands that allow him tons of counter power. With Kazuki Odin, you can put 7 Dawn under him if you're late game. That boosts him all the way up to a 15,000 power limit. Then you can attack with him, get lots of counter out of your opponent's hand, tap 3, reset him, swing again, and it just puts huge pressure on your opponent. Hopefully takes game, puts them in a position where they can't defend any longer, and you get to win. So I think it's a great pickup. You got to have it. Even if it just sits in your binder until you need it one day, I think this card is just going to continue to rear its head. Thank you so much for watching. That concludes today's Market Watch. Hope you enjoyed.